All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to season 6 of the Athlete and Artist Show presented by Bombastic Casino. I am the artist Kyle Forge alongside the athlete, professional hockey player Zach Boychuk. Took a couple weeks off, Chucky. We are back, season 6, presented by our brand new partners, Bombastic. Super pumped to partner with them, Chucky. I know you've taken a quick look at the site. They're going to be launching the sports book in about a week or so. They've got the casino up and running, brand new relaunch. Super excited. What are your thoughts on Bombastic so far since we've been chatting with them the last few weeks?
Yeah, we got the bombastic Bitcoin casino. We love our crypto, so it's pretty exciting that we partnered with them, and obviously they got their sports book coming out. So I think it'll be fun. And I saw on their website they offer the 100% match on your first deposit, like up to 1 Bitcoin. Are they like matching like 125 G's? Like Bitcoin's at 121,000 or something.
I know, insane, hey?
I guess they got some
It's
crypto reserve somewhere.
it's dope. They've got a lot of cool games on here too. They've got a Snoop Dogg game, which is sweet, floating around a couple times now. They've got a bunch of different casino games, live games. Obviously, the thing that we're most excited about, it being the start of new NHL season, is the sports book. So we're excited for
Oh
that
yeah.
to launch next week. We'll be starting streaming with them next week as well. So we'll be playing some casino games. Obviously, we'll be doing the Kyle versus Zach Bombastic Cup over the next few months. We'll be sports betting against each other. I know we normally we've done a couple times where we go against each other, but a lot of the time we're betting together, and you end up suspending me. So now now my picks will go in your favor if I lose. So yeah, we'll have a lot of fun here at the start of the NHL season.
Yeah, and we'll do some live streams as well, maybe on Saturday or Sunday. So yeah,
Yep.
excited to get things going, and hopefully my picks are better than yours.
They usually are. So I mean, who knows? We usually start hot when we do it in the playoffs or at the start of the season, and then from there it varies a lot. So yeah, we're super pumped to be partnering with them and get this new NHL season underway.
And NFL too. I've seen some
Yeah.
crazy parlays, like people putting together like first touchdown scorers, and maybe we can figure out a way how to do that with goal scorers in the NHL. We'll see what kind of bets and picks they're offering, but yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, if you want to give them a follow on Instagram, they're bombastic underscore casino, BOMBASTIC underscore casino. On Twitter, bombastic underscore com, BOMBASTIC underscore COM. Bombastic Casino gave us both the follows. They just launched their social media. They just relaunched the platform. So again, super excited to be partnering with them. Chucky, a lot has gone on in the last week regarding the NHL, even before the debut or the opening night, I should say, on Tuesday. Uh, should we start with these signings before we get into the first round of games?
Yeah, the big McDavid is coming back.
McDavid re-signs in Edmonton, or extends in Edmonton, I should say, 2 years at $12.5 million.
Is that the best contract
Absurd.
in the league?
It has to be the best contract in the league. The greatest player in the world just took at least, I would say, an $8 million pay cut, essentially, or team friendly deal, I should say, for the next 2 years. He has one more year left on his current contract, and then the following two will be at 12.5. So, I mean, that speaks to how McDavid is as a leader. I think everyone's been saying it. He's been saying it for since he's been to Edmonton that he wants to win in Edmonton. Everyone was worried if he was going to be leaving, what he was going to do, if it was going to be short term, long term, if he was just going to say, I'm out after this year. But he's been preaching that he wants to stay in Edmonton, wants to bring a cup back to Canada and to the city of Edmonton. And yeah, he proved it by taking a massive, massive deal so that the Oilers could bring in some other pieces as well.
Yeah, they got a 3 year window to win, and he's following probably Sidney Crosby's footsteps, taking a
Yeah.
little bit less, so there's more to go around. And it could also be like a play where he gets three years, whatever it is, or 2 years, and by that third year he can just or fourth year he can just leave, and nobody can be upset because he took that discount.
Yeah.
He can go to Toronto, he could go to LA or New York or Florida. and try and win a cup somewhere else, because I don't know if Edmonton's going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you look at some of their other signings. I mean, Wallman, 7 million for 7 years. Maybe a little bit of a questionable signing there. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
It's a good contract for him. Obviously, going from a guy that was pretty much like a cap dump, and didn't trade much to get him or to get rid of him. Sent him to San Jose, was kind of banished, and then comes Edmonton. Cup contender, has a good playoffs. So obviously, you need good D. They got Ekholm locked up for a while, and
Yep.
obviously Bouchard is locked up. So if they can, get somebody to play with Draisaitl and a little bit more with McDavid, I think you're still not solving the goaltending problem though.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Like you said, Eki extended 3 years, 4 million. Pretty good deal, I think, for Ekholm. But yeah, the goaltending issue, I think, is where Edmonton is still going to struggle. And we'll get into it when we go over the first few games. But Skinner last night against the Flames just kind of gave up a bad one. I think that was ended up being the game winner for the Flames too, from Coleman. Just kind of poke checked it through his legs. I don't know what Skinner was doing, whether he was trying to play it or just looked like his controller died playing NHL on EA Sports. Like, what
Yeah,
was he
both
doing
the
there?
D's controller died, and so did his. And he's like, "You take it, no, you take it," and then
Yeah,
nobody took it.
it's like that.
Coleman just pokes it in.
Yeah, that classic, literally Coleman, a video game move too, poke it through the goalie and hope it goes in. So tough one for Edmonton there to start the season. But if you're a Flames fan like I am, that's definitely a positive way to start the season for us, especially being questionable. Parekh wasn't even playing, which I thought was absurd. Your star
Yeah,
new defenseman was scratched the first game. I don't know what Huska was doing, but that disappointed me a little bit there. But I think they're playing back to back, so they should be playing tonight.
yeah. I guess they didn't want to expose him to two of the best players in the world in
Yeah.
Draisaitl and McDavid. But yeah, it's surprising. I didn't follow Calgary as much during the preseason. I don't know how he was. Obviously, it's tough coming in as a 19-year-old. He could still be on the World Junior team this year. They're obviously going to be a little bit careful with him. They can't send him to the American League, and there's no point in sending him to junior. He's done enough at junior. So I think that he's probably going to get that, spot treatment here and there. I think Wolf kind of went through it his first year and a bit. Um, who's the guy in Anaheim that was getting healthy scratch, like third overall pick? Just guys that are young coming into the league. You you got to learn the ropes, and I guess they're going that route with Parekh until he gets his big time confidence going.
Are you talking about Anaheim's defenseman?
No, he's a forward. Was he second overall or third overall? Swedish kid,
Oh, Leo Carlson,
Carlson. That's right.
The Swedish kid.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. His first
He's
year, he
nasty.
didn't play all the games. He would get healthy scratch, especially on like the back to back nights. So it was load managing the young guys.
Yeah, he played good. Like I think that was good for him. So hopefully that ends up being a good strategy for Parekh and the Flames. The
Yeah,
I think the craziest part, or one of the crazy things about this McDavid deal is it comes right after Kaprizov signs an 8 year, 17 million per year contract, 136 million, the highest hockey NHL contract of all time in a combined total, I believe.
yeah.
So
17 a year.
17 a year. So I think after he signed that, after that was announced, everyone was like, "What is McDavid gonna do now?"
Yeah. McDavid's getting 20, but not so much, not so fast.
I definitely did not think McDavid was gonna take 12 and a half.
Pretty shocking, that's for sure. He left a lot on the table, but they do need to win, and I think he wants the Stanley Cup more than
Yeah,
anything. Um, this year is going to be interesting too with the Olympics. I'm sure he wants an Olympic gold,
yeah,
so it could be a big couple of years for him.
yeah. It's and the cap's still going up too. So by the end of these next 3 years, he could be making 25 if he really wanted to, depending where he goes.
Whoever can afford that, I'm sure there'll
Crazy.
be teams begging to get him.
Oh, absolutely. If he ends up not winning in Edmonton, which as a Flames fan, I don't think Edmonton's ever going to win the cup, but they've obviously been to the cup the last 2 years in a row and lost to the cup champions the last 3 or 4. So
What do you think Draisaitl's thinking? He's making more than McDavid right now, right? He's making like 14 mil, and then he looks at Kaprizov. Kaprizov's making 17.
yeah.
It's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have signed for 7 or 8 years or whatever he got.
Yeah, that would be interesting too. That's probably another thing another one of the reasons that McDavid ended up staying is because Draisaitl had just recently signed that extension at Edmonton. If McDavid just left right away, Draisaitl would have definitely been like, "What am I doing here now?"
Yeah, and then they're looking at their goalie. They're like, okay, so are we gonna get Carter Hart? Are we gonna make a big trade? I'd love to see them try and get like Binnington or like a big dog that can just push them over the edge, a gamer. But we'll see what happens down the stretch. They picked up a guy off waivers, that Ingram. So I think they have 3 goalies now. So
they just signed Roslovic too.
Oh, so that's another goalie. Oh no, that's the center.
Yeah.
He's a UFA.
Yep.
Yeah, from Carolina. So that's a good pickup for them.
Yeah, so he'll be a good depth guy for them for sure.
Yeah.
Yesterday, that we're filming this on Thursday, pod will be out Friday night, but yesterday on Wednesday, Eichel extended with Vegas 8 years at 13.5. So you got to think that McDavid contract affected Eichel's contract too, hey?
Yeah, I was thinking that after that, and you also saw a few other guys sign for somewhere between the 12 to 15 range. After the Kaprizov, I kind of thought Eichel could probably get 15 at least, maybe 16. Even 17 wouldn't have surprised me. But now I think a lot of the stars are thinking maybe I have to take a little bit less.
And it's interesting too because Eichel's got his cup, so he definitely could have.
He got his cup. Yeah,
he definitely could have taken more.
And if he would have waited to free agency, he could have signed a big ticket too.
100%. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, Eichel and Kaprizov 8-year deals, but the guys like McDavid who took these lesser term, we'll see what happens when the cap keeps going up in a few years. But
even Kyle Connor, he got like 12 or 13 mil too.
Yeah, that was an interesting contract too.
So that's he might be making more than McDavid.
8-year, $96 million. 12 million a year, so just under what McDavid was. He's making 12. McDavid's 12.5. So
crazy.
In no world should he be making almost as much as McDavid.
No. Winnipeg, you probably got to pay a little extra to keep guys in Winnipeg.
Yeah, definitely. It's cold out there, not much to do. Definitely got to take a little bit more. Before we talk about the NHL regular season opening night, last weekend NCAA kicked off. Penn State, Gavin McKenna made his long-anticipated NCAA debut. They played Arizona State. 2 assists in the first game, was buzzing around the ice. Couple great plays with those assists. Second game had the game winner on just a one-time clapper in the third period. Insane. Puts the...
So like this? Is that the fork? Fork's down?
And that's the west side upside down.
Kind of hard to do. Got to learn that one. He was obviously thinking about that one for a while to go and do it after he scored the game winner.
Yeah, I think I'm looking at the picture. I think it's this. I think it's this, something like that.
Oh yeah, that looks better.
Like you were doing the west side upside down, the Snoop Dogg west side.
Right. my fork was the wrong one.
But no, it was funny after, like, I didn't expect to see him kind of giving it to the crowd like that after, because they're playing at ASU in their arena, went straight up to the fans on the glass, taunted them after that as they're skating off the ice. It was that's college hockey for you. He's bought in right away.
Yeah, they had it on NHL Network. They were playing it on YouTube.
Yeah,
I'm sure everybody was watching in the States, even in Canada. Anticipated debut, and there's going to be a lot more eyes on college hockey because of him.
100%. He looked right at home out there. What didn't look like it was too big up of a step for him. Obviously, going back to the WHL, he probably would have had 8 points in the first 2 games,
Yeah,
knowing where he
probably
is
would have
now.
been a little
But
too easy.
yeah,
I saw a bunch of comments, but he was -3, but he was -3. Nobody looks at the plus minus, I guess.
yeah,
Just
true.
power play goals.
Yep, yep, for sure. Yeah, he looks good out there, and he'll just keep getting better against this higher level of competition. But Penn State's looking good. I think Penn State's a favorite to compete for the national championship again this year. So we'll see what happens there.
I saw Porter Martone scored in one of his games, his first couple games or whatever. So it'll be good to see him. He's Michigan State, right?
Yeah, Michigan State.
It was like they called it like an exhibition game, but I think it was like a real game. But it's weird. It's hard to follow all the rules. They got to play like 36 games, and some are classified as exhibition, some are classified in the NCAA, and it's just a mess. I got to learn the college schedule better.
Yeah, they played University of Windsor, so they were playing a Canadian team
Yeah,
from the CIS or U Sport. So yeah, a little bit of an exhibition game there, but scored a goal on 5 shots and had an assist. So 4-0
good
win for
start.
them. Good start for them. But it'll be interesting to see how he does against the NCAA competition as well.
Yeah,
NHL opening night. We both watched the same game, first game of the season. Hawks, Panthers. Panthers, obviously, I was a little bit worried about them going into this season with Barkey getting injured in preseason practice, not even a preseason game, in practice. Could be out all year. He's saying he'll be back a little bit earlier. I think he told an NBA coach that he'll be back by like March. So
he'll try his best, I'm
he'll try
sure.
his best. Obviously, Matthew Tkachuk out for at least half the year as well, coming off surgery. So 2 main pieces of Florida missing as they head into this year. And playing Chicago for the first game. Chicago has a lot to prove this year. Their Frondell stayed in Sweden, so he went back to play another year professionally in Sweden. The league that he's playing in out there, the team that he's playing for up there just got bumped up to the next league, I believe. So he's getting a little bit better competition out there compared to the last few years. But interesting for him going back for that extra year development. I think it'll be good for him, but I also think the Hawks could have used him this year. But again, the Hawks probably not competing for a playoff spot or anything this year, so that extra year of development won't really affect the team too much. But it'll be interesting to see what they do this year without him.
Yeah, the Hawks roster isn't looking too good to me. I think there'll be a lot of bets against them this year. Maybe not for you, but we can bet the over in those games because there's usually lots of goals and probably most likely against Chicago. A
But
lot of
maybe,
shots against.
yeah, Spencer Knight though looked unbelievable in his debut, or not his debut, but his first game in the season. He looks like he's back and ready to rumble. He kept the Hawks
Yeah,
in that game all season or all game long. That first period, I think, was 20. The shots were like 23-3 in favor of Florida. So
and Chicago scored the first goal, didn't they?
yeah, Nazar on a breakaway just
Nazar is
buzzed
looking
up
pretty
the
good.
ice. He's so good, dude.
That contract might look really good in a couple of years.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, they Panthers ended up winning the game, but the Hawks kept it close.
Yeah, I think even with the depleted lineup, the Panthers are pretty good. Like Marshawn moves up a little bit. Was it Lundell? He moves up. Those are first line players anyway. It's crazy they were playing basically on the third line during the cup run, but obviously they still got Bennett, and they're still out shooting teams, 3-1 sometimes. So
Yeah.
it's a tough team to beat, and then you got Bobrovsky in that, so it's a tough first opponent for Chicago. I'll say that.
Yeah, that was another interesting one because Knight backed up Bob for however many years when he was in Florida. So
Right.
that was kind of an interesting game for them there too.
I really like the early starts too. They kind of staggered it a little bit. 5 o'clock start. It would have been like 3 o'clock at your time, but
Yeah,
good way to get a triple header to start the NHL season. And I think Pittsburgh got a win their new coach Muse, and my buddy Nick Bonino got his first win. I saw him handing out some pucks to first goal guys, and there's a guy that trains with us at Crash, Harrison Bruno.
Mm.
He played his first game as a 19-year-old in the NHL.
For the Pens,
So
right?
for the Pens, yeah, they won 3-0. So good to see the Pens and old Sid. They played 20 years in a row. Him, Letang, and Malkin.
Wow.
Kind of a record in sports. So 20 years all together.
And how do you pronounce the Crash player's name again for the Pens?
We call him Bruno.
Bruno?
Harrison Brunicky.
Isn't he the first ever South African-born player to play in the NHL too?
Is he South African? I didn't know that. I know he played for Kamloops Blazers, but he was with me at the World Championship tryouts and stuff. Kind of hurt his ankle, but yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Because I think NHL.com NHL posted on their Instagram page.
There was two young guys that definitely that came in. I'm not sure. Could have been the other guy.
Yeah, I just looked it up. It was him. So he must have been born there and then moved to Canada right away.
Very cool.
Yeah, moved to Calgary when he was 2, apparently. So around that age. So born there, moved over here, started playing hockey right away.
Little fun fact. Kamloops Blazer All-Star.
Yes, sir. Looking good. Another jersey to go on Crash's wall.
Yeah, he's adding them every year, it seems.
He's gonna need a new facility soon just to make room for all the jerseys that he trains. Almost every guy that goes to the NHL from Canada, Crash is trained at some point, it seems.
Yeah, he's running out of wall space, that's for sure.
Yeah. We just mentioned it. Flames beat the Oilers. I caught a little bit of that game as well. Battle of Alberta last night. As we said, Skinner, bad bounce to give up the game winner there, but McDavid had 2 points, so he's already off to a hot start, making that contract look even nicer. But yeah, what do you think for both those teams? Do you think Oilers are going to make another run this year? How do you think the Flames are going to do? I feel like the Flames are going to just miss out on a playoff spot again or get bounced in the first round, miss out on Gavin McKenna. I don't think they're going to finish anywhere near the complete bottom to even have a chance at first overall, but I also don't think they're going on a run either. So
I think they really overachieved last year. They have good coaching and they have, a few good pieces, but I don't see them replicating that this year, especially if you start, trading away a few guys, infiltrate the younger guys. And they got that, what is it? A young Russian? Is it Gridin?
Yeah. I don't know if we're pronouncing that right, but you probably pronounce it better than me.
He was unbelievable in the preseason, scoring every game, scoring a penalty shot. I think he was scoring in shootouts. Gets another goal in his first NHL game, so definitely bright future there. Like I think he was like the 28th pick or something in the first round, and just a young kid coming in and made the most of his chance. So I'd like to see them keep bringing these young guys in, let them play. We'll see if Parekh gets in there obviously tonight, and trade some of the old vets and try and tank and go for McKenna.
Try and tank and go for him, eh?
Even though it's not recommended, but
yeah,
I think Calgary needs that high end talent, and it's starting to come together. They got Wolfie locked up for a while, so trade everybody.
See, that's where I think Wolfie is gonna be the catalyst to whether the Flames or how the Flames do this year. If he performs completely like everyone thinks he can, if he stands on his head all year, they could push for a playoff spot. But I mean, you also can't expect him to just keep you in it all year and not get anything in front of him. So it'll be interesting to see how he does. It looks like Cooley's in tonight against the Vancouver Canucks. So he's not playing back to back, but you put him in there against the two of the best players in the league, and he held up for the most part. So,
and Vancouver didn't really add much, I feel like, to their roster. So that could be another win for Calgary if Cooley plays well. But
yeah,
it seemed like neither of the backups played that well during the preseason in Calgary.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting storyline for this year for Calgary too. Is that backup goaltender situation? I forget the other guy's name that they ended up sending down, but Cooley kind of won it through preseason over him, but I think Cooley's kind of hit or miss. Demko looks like he's in for the Canucks tonight, so he's that could keep the Canucks in it tonight against Calgary too.
Yeah, I wonder if Pedersen bounces back this year.
Mm,
Obviously, Quinn Hughes is going to be unbelievable like he always is, but
always.
they did not perform up to standards last year in Vancouver.
No, and they obviously don't have JT Miller this year either, so
Traded him away.
see what the Canucks are able to do. Speaking of Hughes, Luke Hughes, Quinn Hughes' brother, also signed his extension, 7 years, $63 million, 9 a year. That could be a pretty decent contract in a few years as well. I think Luke Hughes is a very good player. I think he'll be almost as good, or I've even heard some people say he'll be better than Quinn. But I think regardless, he's an incredible talent. Smaller on the D, but he can skate, man.
Yeah, he's obviously the taller version of Quinn. I think his potential is definitely up there. I don't know if he'll ever be as good as Quinn, but they were talking on Chicklets that it would be pretty crazy if both those guys in one season finished in the top three of like Norris Trophy voting, which Quinn has already been voted. I think he's already won the Norris, if I'm not wrong, but you got to think that he'd be in there for the voting as well with Luke.
Yeah, sorry, I think I said smaller version. I meant taller, Luke over Quinn. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes too. I'm a huge fan of Luke. Maybe it's just because I played with him in NHL 25 so much, and he's scoring at will, skating around the ice. But
he was getting the one-handed goals like Coleman.
I'm not very good at the tricks, so I wasn't doing any one-handed goals, but I can buzz up the ice with him and deke in and out, score on end-to-end with him a lot. So
he can fly for a big guy, that's for sure.
NHL 26 just came out too, so I'm gonna have to get that and ended up trading him to whoever I am in franchise mode and see how good he is there too.
I wonder if my team's on that. I know Berlin was on it in years past. I'm curious if the HK Olympia is on there, the Dragon.
Oh yeah. Let's see what leagues are in NHL 26. I wonder if it is. Cuz yeah, you've been in the game since not when you were in Russia, but the last 5 years that you were in Berlin, you were still in NHL in the NHL game. So I called you up a few times.
Yeah, probably like a 55 overall or a 60 overall rating for me, I bet.
I think it was somewhere in the 70s.
Nice, I'll take that.
Let's see the Central Europe. What's the official name of your league again?
It's called the Win Today Ice League.
Oh, so it's not
ICE.
It's not it's not Ice HL.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, it is it.
Yeah.
So there we go. Could have some more call ups for Chucky in NHL 26.
That's quite the call up, getting called up from the Austrian league.
Hey, I mean you're doing well so far, Chucky. You're over point per game.
Yeah, team's doing good. We've had a hot start, so we got 2 home games this weekend, and
nice.
Trying to get back in the first place.
Yeah, you ran into a hot goaltender last weekend, I should say. Hey.
Yeah. No, we had 2 pretty close games. Could have went either way. Got into some penalty trouble in the last game, and then, but yeah, it's sometimes on the big ice, you run into a hot goalie, and it's tough to get the wins. But we'll be bouncing back this weekend.
Definitely. I mean, sometimes you need those games just as a reset for the team. When you go on streaks like that, you can sometimes, obviously, I'm not saying you guys did, but you can get complacent, you can get confident, and kind of just fall into the flow of things. And having that reset definitely helps. You see it a lot with teams in the NHL. You've seen it with Florida. You've seen it with a lot of the strong teams. They go on these runs and then they kind of get smacked back into focus and end up going on runs again. So it just makes you stronger as a team.
Yeah, exactly. You got to fight through the adversity and you become stronger in the end.
Definitely. Did you see McKinnon passes Joe Sakic for Avs all-time points?
Crazy. Yeah, McKinnon's basically putting up like video game numbers at this point.
It's insane, dude. He's unbelievable.
He's definitely one of my favorite players to watch. Like just the way that he, gallops up the ice, and he's physical, and so serious all the time. I kind of wish he would have a little bit more fun here and there, but I'm sure that's what he needs to do to be the player that he is, and he wants to win, more than anybody.
Yeah, and he's had his one cup, but he wants more. And that team is, I mean, with him and Makar even alone, just those guys together,
Yeah,
they've always got a chance, I think.
Nietzsche is looking pretty good the
Yeah.
first couple games, so yeah, it's Makar is obviously they lose Rantanen, but maybe Nietzsche fills in all right with them, and I think he's up for contract this year, so you can expect a big season for him.
Who's what are your predictions for this year? Like, who do you think is going to finish at the bottom of the league? Who do you think is going to finish at the top?
There's a couple teams that are still not looking great. Like I feel like the teams out west, I still don't know how like Utah is going to be. I'm never really been a fan of the Coyotes, yet smaller guys, but they should eventually take a step forward at some point. I feel like Nashville, we'll see if they can bounce back from last year. Anaheim, they got a new coach in Quenneville. They need to have a big season. So, it's and then out east, I think it's probably the same teams. Is Buffalo going to be good? Probably not.
Probably not.
Rangers aren't looking so hot to start the season. But yeah, I don't think there's any clear front runners for the top of the league. Like I feel like there's a lot of like middle of the pack. Obviously everybody's going to try and beat, Florida, Tampa, Toronto, Winnipeg, but Boston, they're not looking that great this year. They've lost a lot of guys, so it's kind of anybody's game this year. What do you think?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm curious to see how San Jose does. From finishing bottom of the pack
Yeah,
last year, but this year Misa made the opening roster, so we'll see how he does.
but he's
Obviously,
like
they've
13th forward to start. I don't even know if he's playing the first game, so he might
true.
be getting the same treatment as Perek.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see how he does there when he does get his opportunities. Obviously, that team so young, but they've got such a good core, and in the next few years, I really think that they're gonna blow up to be a solid team. You saw they just traded for Carey Price too, so maybe he'll like what he sees and make a comeback.
Yeah, some of those contracts are getting traded around again, for cap space
Yeah.
and to reach the floor, and yeah, just crazy that those contracts are still alive.
I think Weber's still got at least a year or two left on his. He's still getting traded around.
Oh, it's crazy. I feel like there was another one recently too. I can't remember the trade, but yeah, it's funny how some teams can get to the floor and just not even be for players that aren't even playing.
Yeah, it's crazy. And those guys still get paid that full amount too, or how does that work?
Yeah, they'll get paid the full amount, and I
Not
think,
even playing.
yeah, Petrangelo, he's kind of in a similar situation. He's probably retired, but
Out for the year.
um,
He got ruled out for the regular season and playoffs.
yeah, but he can't officially retire or he won't get paid that money. So all
Mm.
that's kind of what all those guys have done. They've kind of went on long-term injured reserve for a while. I think the Arizona Coyotes had like three or four of those contracts at one point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a weird way to get around getting to the cap floor.
Yeah, and this year they as we've talked about before, the rule, the cap rule, the new cap rule for playoffs went into effect. So it's not like these teams can stick these guys on for the regular season and bring them back in the playoffs either. So it's if they're
No,
out for, you look at a guy like Petrangelo, if he's out for the year, regardless, no matter what happens with Vegas. So
yeah, you can't add them at
no,
playoffs like the old teams used to do, Florida, Tampa, and
yeah.
even Vegas has done it many times with Stone. So can't do it anymore.
Nope, can't do that anymore. That makes it interesting what the Panthers will do, because I don't know like what's their cap situation with Barkey and Kachuk out. Like, do they have space to have all these guys in? Because they just had another think who was it that they just signed as well? Mine's blanking right now, but they just extended someone else as well.
Ekblad got an extension, I think, but that was at the end of the season last year or after the cup.
Oh, Mikkola, that's who it was. 8 years, 40 million.
Mikkola.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
that just means they're not going to be able to pick up a guy like Marchand or pick up a guy like, who's I don't know who's going to be available this year at the deadline. Who the big UFA guys are? Maybe
yeah.
Nietzsche could be one of those guys that teams are trying to pick up, but you can't add those guys if you want to stay under the cap.
Yeah, their current cap space is 2.2 and their projected is minus 6.1.
Yeah, so it's probably a good thing that those guys are on long-term injured reserve. Keeps them under the cap.
What happens when Tkachuk and Barkov come back? Who's going out?
You need a cap cruncher to figure those ones out.
Yeah, not logistics guys over here.
No, somebody's getting sent to the American League that's probably making a decent amount of money.
Yeah.
Or they have to make a trade and get rid of somebody.
Well, here's the other thing too, because can't you, from what I understand it, can't you have the guy in the rotation just not playing dressed for that game? So like you can cycle these guys in and out. Not that they would cycle out Tkachuk and Barkov, but for the other guys, if they could have them in the press box for a game and kind of switch them in and out with some of the other guys.
Yeah, I think that is the rule actually. So when they do come back, you could technically be over the cap. You just can't play one of the guys, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's at least how I understand it. But
I think you're right.
We'll kind of see when that time happens. Obviously, we're in the first few days of the new NHL season, long time till playoffs. But yeah, the next few months are really going to be interesting to see who takes that jump from last year and where some of the teams from last year are that were at the top of the pack, like the Panthers with their injuries, like see how the Leafs are going to do this year without Marner. It's a lot of things to see how some of these teams react to the changes from the offseason. I think Montreal and Ottawa are two other teams that could be interesting to watch. Like Ottawa's made the playoffs last year. Montreal made the playoffs last year. See, Ottawa did make the playoffs last year, didn't they? Or did they just miss out?
Ottawa made it last year.
They did, yeah. So see if those teams can get back to the playoffs, and two, if they can go a little bit deeper. But I think both of those teams have a lot of potential as well with their young core. Obviously, Brady Tkachuk leading the way in Ottawa, and Montreal. They've got some really, really solid young guys like Demidov and Lane Hudson. But among some of the other guys, we'll see if Doc can have a bounce back year this year and stay healthy. But yeah,
how do you think Washington does this year?
That's a question that I've been seeing around a lot with Ovi having hit his record last year. Will he come back and still be pushing as hard as he was last year? Will the team still be pushing as hard? Like that's an interesting situation in Washington too.
And like Dallas, they're always a contender. They're getting older, but
yeah,
somehow they keep cycling in these young guys. And I think Robertson might be up for contract soon, so he's gonna have a big year.
Or is he a deadline guy too?
It's wide open. He could be a big deadline pickup if they got to get rid of him.
Yeah.
We got Kopitar's last season in LA.
Yeah.
They're gonna want to have a big season for their captain, Slovenian guy. Which is pretty cool.
Imagine. I wonder what they could do. Let me see what their cap space is looking like. Because do you think they'll try to go on a run this year?
Yeah, they got to. Their window's starting to close a little bit too, with Doughty being, in his last couple of years, and Kopitar, and they've done a decent job cycling in a few young guys, but when those guys are gone, it's a big blow to the team.
Yeah, they've got about 1.8, 1.9 in cap space right now. So that's Corey Perry. You want to talk about Corey Perry? He's already out week to week with an injury.
Yeah, that's a tough start to your 42nd-year-old career. How old he is? 41.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they try to make a deadline pickup, depending on how their season starts, to try to make a push for Kopitar. But yeah, it's sad to see that Kopitar's leaving. He's obviously been a pivotal player in that organization his entire career. Won a couple cups with them. So it's his last year. It's it kind of says something about him too to stay in LA for his last year rather than to just try to jump to a contender like some other guys do. But I mean, he does already have his cup, so it's cool for him
Yeah.
to just want to stay at home and stay with the group that he's been with for so long.
Yeah, it's his 20th season too. So kind of perfect round number, 20 seasons. Kind of a guy that came out of nowhere. I think he was like a 14th overall pick or 15th, kind of like mid rounds. And what a steal for LA to find him out of Slovenia.
Do the fans out there keep track of Kopitar a lot, or
Oh yeah,
yeah?
yeah. He's really well known here, and you got him and Luka Doncic in basketball, two of the greatest athletes ever, obviously from Slovenia, and doing it on the international stage, winning cups. And yeah, if he ever came to play for our team, I think our arena would be sold out every single night. But
Next year,
we'd be begging him to come play for us next year.
that could be awesome. Imagine if that happened. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, he said he's moving home. He lives like 40 minutes from Ljubljana, so we'll do our best to campaign him. I think he spends a good amount of the summer here every year and runs a hockey camp out in Bled. So we'll try and get some guys to infiltrate him and get him to play 1 or 2 more years in our league.
Maybe a little player coach action.
Yeah, whatever he wants to do, even if he's second line, or like a water boy, if he just wants to be the GM, if he wants to whatever he wants to do, come join the squad.
There you go.
He can't take my first line center spot though.
Yeah, let's talk about that too before we head out. That's I messaged you the other day. I was like, Zach, how's it feel being 36 now? We just turned 36 since we had our last
36.
episode. So happy belated birthday on the podcast to you, Chucky. 36 playing first line minutes in professional hockey. How's your cardio holding up?
It's probably not as good as Crosby's. He's 37, 38 playing first line minutes, but no, we're having a lot of fun here, and we only pretty much play 2 games a week, and then we get a couple days off and get ready for Friday, Sunday. But no, so far it's been great. The bus rides are a little bit long, but we have a good time, and it's fun just to keep the career going at 36.
I'm surprised the building hasn't been more packed since you guys started off 6-0.
Yeah, I think now that the weather's getting a little bit cooler, it's starting to be more fall weather. I think those Sundays it's probably tough to leave the warm weather barbecues, and a lot of people go out to the sea because it's only like 45 minutes from here. So we'll see if we can get some more fans in here if we keep staying hot and being in the top of the league.
Yeah, that'll be nice. It's such a beautiful place that you're playing in too, and that arena when it's full, we've talked about it before. Just the way that the seats are kind of a little bit steeper, they're right on top of you. That building will get loud.
Yeah, it'll be really good. This weekend it's like a student night or something, so we're expecting a ton of students to come watch. And yeah, every week they have some sort of. I think last week it was Oktoberfest. I think I was one of the only guys wearing an actual Oktoberfest outfit, but they're always doing something fun, something for the community, something for the kids. So it's a fun team to be a part of.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, it's exciting seeing how well you're doing out there too, and how well the team's doing. So you're well on track to make another pushing your career for another good finish, another championship. So we'll keep tabs on that, and yeah,
need another ring.
Another
ring. My 2 hands aren't full yet, so.
There you go. You guys just had the Slovenian Cup. What's the deal with that? How does that tournament, or how does that what word I'm looking for? Like the during season tournament, kind of how the NBA had one a few years ago. What's the deal with that? How does that work?
Yeah, it's basically like a national crown, if you want to say, and we played the Jesenice in the first game. We got the win 3-0. I think we outshot them like 22-3 in the first period, and it was 0-0. So ran into another hog goalie. But yeah, there's like 4 or 5 pretty solid teams in Slovenia, and we'll have random games throughout the year that's separate from our ice league. And yeah, we want to get a championship there too.
That's all. So when's the next game for that? Like how spread out are those games?
They're every couple weeks or so,
Okay.
and then you take like a month off, and then you get back into it. So I think we have another one maybe next Tuesday or Wednesday. So always gotta be ready for those games. They're kind of trap games, so you gotta play your best, but don't fall into those bad habits.
So is it kind of like the Champions Hockey League of Slovenia?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
So that I think they do it in Switzerland. Like all the teams, there's like even the second league teams, third league teams, they'll all play in a they call it a Swiss Cup.
Okay.
Ours is like a Slovenian Cup, and then I think there's a few other countries for sure that do it. I want to say Hungary might do it. I'm not sure if Italy does it or not. Germany, I don't think Germany could do it just because the step from the first league to the second league is so big and a lot more imports and stuff. So it really depends on the country. They're just adding a few extra games to the schedule, and the local fans like it. A lot of Slovenian fans will come from far away to come watch these games, and
Cool.
um, it's a big rivalry, so that's for sure.
Awesome, man. That's sick. Yeah, well, best of luck as that continues as well. Maybe that'll be like we said, 2 rings in 1 year would be a pretty fun accomplishment. But
Yeah.
is there anything else hockey wise that you want to chat about before we head out?
No, I think so far so good to start to the NHL season and our European season, watching some of the Champions League games and stuff over in hockey. So yeah, it's exciting times. A lot of sports going on. We got the Blue Jays killing it. We got
Oh,
NFL football. Like we got a lot of stuff to talk to. So this bombastic partnership is going to be great.
yeah. The I don't feel great wearing this hat today. Blue Jays knocked out the Yankees last night.
Tough.
Yeah, it was a tough one, but I mean, congrats to the Blue Jays. Obviously, that's big for our country, Canada. They're the only Canadian team in the MLB, so good for them. But bad for my Yankees.
Go Jays, go.
All right, everybody. We will see you guys next week. Thank you again to Bombastic, brand new partners. We'll have streams and sports bets coming soon, and we are looking forward to the next few months of the NHL season and to round out football and baseball. We will see you guys later.
Peace.